Hey there, welcome to my channel, LeeBeeBuilds. My name is Aaliyah, and today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you. If you like my content, please leave a like and a comment down below, and even in a comment section, suggest any builds or other videos that I can do in the future. I'm always looking for more inspiration and more ideas. But yeah, if you haven't already, or if you're new here, please also hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. So into today's build, I have a family home for you. In the end, it ends up being 3 bedrooms, 2 of them for children. So there's a toddler bedroom and a kid's bedroom that has 2 beds in it for 2 kids or 2 teens. And then the third bedroom is for the parents. There's also a laundry room in this house. So there is functional laundry, which means there are a few laundry baskets throughout to accommodate for the laundry, washing machine, and dryer. But as of right now, I'm just working on the exterior of the home, and I had a little trouble with the layout at first because of the roofing, actually. Roofing is not the easiest thing to do in The Sims, and every time I build a home, it's like I'm learning all over again. But I ended up adjusting the layout just a bit just to make the roofing easier because I don't want it to look stupid. But so I think it ended up turning out okay with the way that I did it, because I don't want to build to just be a giant square block, but at the same time it's so much easier to roof a giant square block, so there needs to be a little give and take there. And I just recently got some more content. I actually got the Moschino stuff pack from a giveaway, actually. So thank you so much for the Hobbit Queen for sending that my direction. I really love it. I love the windows. I use them in the back in the laundry room, just right there, and I love them. I've been wanting them in my game for so long, and I'm glad that I have them. And I also recently bought myself Island Living. I should not have bought it, but I did. So I used one of the doorways in there. This is not like an Island Living home, so I think that doorway and a few different clutter items are probably the extent to what I used from that pack. But yeah, I ended up, okay, we're inside the build now, and I ended up trying to do this like beams inside the living room, dining, and kitchen area. It took me so long to figure out, and I ended up actually having to go fix it after when I was taking screenshots, just because the coloring wasn't right and there was too many beams, and regardless, I fixed it and it looks really nice just from the inside. I like having the different posts kind of separating the room from the living area and the dining and kitchen area, even though it's still one big open room. Plus it gives a little more realism for the fact that there needs to be some sort of support holding up the ceiling. Otherwise it just would collapse on the poor Sims that live here. But there is structural integrity in this home, so yeah. And I went for there's a lot of brick in this home. I really wanted to, I haven't done that in a while, built with brick. I often have just been doing white kind of exteriors, which most of this home still is. It's a white exterior, but then I add in some bricks on the outside. Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. And I kind of feature that on the inside of the home as well. So all of the walls on the outside that are brick are also brick on the inside, because I wanted to do some feature walls inside with brick walls. So to be able to do that, I ended up deciding that I needed to bring that brick outside for realism, because like, why would there be brick on the inside if it wasn't on the outside. So I figured that maybe the back half of the home was built with brick, and then maybe the front half of the home was an addition, where it was just used like stucco, or it's paint in the game. That's what I chose, but I'm going to pretend it's like stucco. And then there's also some siding on the little outjutting in the toddler bedroom on the front of the house. And I wanted to do something a little different here for the living room TV media unit, so I ended up putting little half walls and filling it in with these shelves that I sized up. And I really liked the outcome of that because it was a little different than just using a normal like TV media console or cabinets. I thought that it kind of fit the vibe I was kind of imagining for this build. And at this point, I had moved Sims into the lot so that I could see the beams to see whether or not they looked okay. So I ended up having to add more money to their accounts just so that I could build more. But in the end, this home ends up being around 87,000 simoleons, not 87. Oh my god, imagine this house for 87 simoleons. That'd be pretty fantastic. But yeah, I cut out a little bit of the cluttering of this TV console just because I spent half of it with like full walls up, but I wasn't thinking because of the beams. It's technically a small little room just where the TV console is, and so with that in mind, it was really difficult. It kept like jumping, and I just wasn't understanding why it was doing that, so I did a little bit of it off camera once I like realized that, and I had just spent too much time trying to clutter things that wasn't working, and it was just my stupidity, but it ends up being fully cluttered in the end. I just don't think it's all shown in the footage. And actually, this build, I didn't take out a lot. Normally, I take out a lot from my builds because they end up being way too long, even when they're sped up. This is sped up to 8 times speed, I believe, and yeah, 8 times, and which is normally what I try first, if it's good, and it was down to like 22 minutes already, and so I was like, wow, that's really fantastic. And I think that just had to do with how I was recording it, because instead of like having to edit so much down where I'm just like sitting there trying to figure out what I was trying to do, every time I was like, okay, wait, what do I do next? What kind of style do I want to go for in this room? Every time I did that, I just like paused the recording, which I had never done before. And it just sounds so simple. Like, why hadn't I thought about it before? But it took me a long time to figure that out. And once I did, it just made editing so much quicker and easier. And it was really nice not having to cut out like a bunch from the build because I kind of knew what I was doing, and there wasn't a lot of me changing things. That being said, I did just put that kitchen in there and then I deleted all of it and replaced it. But that's what I mean, is that a lot of the time that doesn't happen in this footage because I paused it and decided what I wanted to do. And then I deleted everything that I had done in my deciding phase, and then I came back in and put it in for the footage. It actually was quicker in the end because I saved a bunch of time on editing. So yeah, worth it. I used the Parenthood kitchen counters and cabinets. I honestly don't use them that much because I don't really like the island counters that much. I don't like the handles they have on the doors, but I think it really worked for this house and it looks really nice, and I don't know why I don't use them all the time. It's a really nice cabinet, cabinet set. It's really nice, and also all the items. Like, I like the bread box. Like, I don't own a bread box in real life, nor do I know anyone who does, but it looks nice. And I like the fruit bowl and the dish rack that comes with the pack as well. It's just overall like a great clutter pack for kitchens. It just adds a little bit more to kitchen building. And I actually really like how the kitchen turned out. I like the shape of it. It's definitely different than a lot of kitchens that I've made, and I think it fits really well in the space that I gave it. I really like it. And but now we're into the dining room, and I wanted to keep it with the, I really like that like peach color, so it was the same color as the couch, and so I brought that in with the chairs in the dining room as well. That was kind of my idea behind that. And even like the plant in the middle of the table in the living room, its pot is like that same kind of color. And so yeah, and even the lights above the island, they're not the exact same color, but they're kind of the same color family, where they're like a lighter orangey peachy color. But yeah, so I liked to tried my best to keep that color kind of throughout the living space here, but without it being too like in your face. And I end up putting like the giant, like a spoon and fork wall hanging in the kitchen, and that also ends up being the same color as well, which is really nice. Oh nope, just kidding. I chose brown for that spoon and fork. I swear I thought I chose the copper toned one, but I guess not. I still think it looks good the way it is. But yeah, here we are into the bedroom for the parents of the household. I really like this bedroom. I like that it's all brick, and it also has a fireplace. I like doing this a lot in my builds, is where if I have a fireplace against a wall that goes into another room behind it, I like to put like a double fireplace where there's one here, and then the wall, and then one here. So in like they would share the same chimney kind of space. That's kind of where that thought was, and so it's the exact same fireplace inside the bedroom as it is in the dining room, but I like doing that, and I think it's really nice. And I also put a little couch here because that way your Sims have a place to sit when they want to read, because there's a bookshelf that goes into that corner next to the couch, and so it gives your Sims just another choice of where to sit. And especially like if you're like a single mom or dad for this household, you can maybe like have a space to hang out with a date or something, that if you invite them over, that's kind of private away from the kids and the rest of the house. And there's also an ensuite to this master bedroom. It's a nice size. It ends up being 2 sinks, which is really great. It's in The Sims, it doesn't really matter having 2 sinks, but like in real life, that'd be some pretty nice stuff. And I love that Seasons mirror so much. It looks good in like almost any bathroom, and I try my best not to use it in every bathroom, but somehow it ends up being in almost every bathroom. But yeah, so it's in this bathroom, and it's really nice. I would really recommend using that mirror if you have Seasons, or if you don't have Seasons, keep that mirror in mind if you want to buy it. It's a really nice mirror. It's really big, and it's not too high up, but it takes up a lot of space, so it kind of makes your bathrooms look more full. But yeah, we are actually just putting the laundry stuff in. This is when I decided I was going to put laundry day into this build, because I think I already used an item previously, and I was like, do I continue using laundry day, or do I delete that item and not include it at all? But then I was like, you know what, there's actually space right here for a laundry room. And this room is actually inspired by a house I used to live in when I was like really young. There was like a sunroom off the back, and it had the laundry space in it, had some chairs and some like, it was literally piled with a bunch of crap, for lack of a better word. And there's like a fridge in there with just some like drinks, like juice and pop, and probably some beer or something for my parents or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so that room was very much inspired by a room that used to be in a house that I had when I was like 7 years old. But yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, here we are actually in the toddler room now. and there's plenty of things for your little Todd to do. There's toys scattered around there, and there's like those little tablets for toddlers. That way your toddler can gain a bunch of skills from that. I can't speak today. And I did end up making this room pretty stereotypical gendered. It's very pink, but that doesn't mean that male toddler can't live in this room. Like, if they can like pink too, but it is very pink. So it would be perfect for like a little girl that is maybe a little more girly, really likes pink, and yeah. But I think in general, like, it's a very cute room, and it's fairly simple. It's not too cluttered. I didn't want to overcrowd it, because this room here I definitely overcluttered a little bit. But that's because there are 2 Sims living in here, so the idea isn't that this house is like really, really huge. It's just like perfect for the size of family that would fit in this home. So this room has 2 Sims living in it, and it's not that big of a room, so they like each have their own side of the room. So on the left side there, all the posters are more like active kind of things, like sports, and there's like the club banner with I can't remember the name of the club, but it's the ones where the kids like to be rambunctious. And there's a bunch of like clutter, like the books laying on the dresser. The dresser's not actually there because I'm alt placing it, but it'll be there in a second. And there's like some sports clutter on the ground, and there's 2 backpacks, a blue and a pink. I just chose randomly the colors because honestly, like, this room was like whatever. I don't know what gender these kids are. I didn't really want to make it too obvious, so I kind of was on purpose making it confusing. So because I didn't want to like tell you who lives in this room like I did with the toddler room. But yeah, so the other side of the room just has like music posters, and there's like a pride banner or flag as well. I figured that maybe one of the kids in there is either an ally or just is a part of the community. And there's also, it's a kid's room, so there's like junk all over the floor, like loose papers and t-shirts and stuff. And there's only, the laundry basket is in the hallway there outside of the bathroom, that the shared bathroom. And I did that because it kind of, with less laundry baskets, it means you have to do laundry more. And so honestly, I did that on purpose because I figured with 3 kids in the house, you'd be doing a lot of laundry. So that side of the house has 1 laundry and the other side has 1. So you can always add more if you really want to, but I just put 2 in the house. And it looks like we're actually into the landscaping now. I had a lot of fun with this landscaping. It's very samey, like in that garden that I'm doing right now. It's like an entire row of those white flowers and then an entire row of the pink and blue ones. But I think it looked really nice. And while it was like very samey, I think it looks still pretty good for what it is. And yeah, I really like the landscaping this house, and I kind of like put it in a fenced off area because I thought it would look nice, just to kind of like block it out and to make sure that people aren't walking through it. Like, I know Sims won't actually walk through it, but that's kind of like the idea of if it was like in real life. And I didn't forget the terrain paint, which is really good. Sometimes I have forgotten that or just haven't done it because I've put so many plants that you can't even tell, but I didn't forget the terrain paint in this one, thank God. But yeah, I put a lot of plants because I want it to be very green, and I even used rocks. I never use rocks in my gardens, but I put 2 rocks in that garden just off to the side just because I thought it kind of added something a little different to the house that I don't typically use. And in the back, I kind of experimented a little bit with the, what's it called, train tools, where I lowered the ground because I wanted it to be a raised deck, but I didn't want the house in the front yard to be too high. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just like lower the backyard a bit, because I mean, is it really realistic that your yard is completely flat? No. Like, your yard probably has some bumps and dips in it if it's like big enough, right? Unless you're in a suburban kind of really close together community. But this neighborhood in Newcrest is not like that. We've got some hills. We got some bumps in our backyard. But because of that, I had to kind of fiddle around a little bit with flattening it, just so that things like this what's it called? The wire thing for laundry. I'm blanking. Just stuff like that wasn't like weirdly floating. And same with like these planters, I needed to make sure that it was flat so that they'd sit flat and that your Sims could still get to it and use it. And I kind of hid part of the aggressive hill up to the left side of the house there, because with the plants. And I did put a gate on this side of the house as well, just so that your Sims can have an easy access out of the backyard, because I completely fenced it in, and that's where the recycling and garbage bin is, even though they're just 2 garbage bins. I did that so that if your sim doesn't have to go out the front door every time, they can go out the back door, maybe if they were closer to the bins from that side. But it is kind of far from the inside, unfortunately. But you know, it sucks taking garbage out. We all do it every week, and you know what, the Sims gotta do it too. And I also, because I did put a laundry room inside, I figured, like, why not put the wash basin outside too? So there's an option to do it without using the power inside. You can use the wash tub outside and the line to dry if you want just a different option. That was kind of my thought there. But yeah, so we're actually coming near the end of the video. I'm just finishing up the landscaping and then we'll be done. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and a comment suggesting maybe what I could do in my next videos coming up down the road. I still have some ideas coming up, but I would love to hear from you guys and kind of get some chat going on. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you next time. So I guess this is goodbye. So see you next time. Bye-bye.